So the WOWIE Game Jam 2.0 is officially over and results are out. Now, Steve and I had a great time making Glitch Dash for the Game Jam. It was awesome. It was such a great learning experience. I just made a video ranting about our scores and I didn't like it, so I'm not going to post it. So get this instead. So we came in 111th out of 368 or something, which is, it's our first Game Jam. There's a ton of entries. A lot of them were very good. It's a good rating. I would have rated our game higher in some things. I think our creativity was higher than as represented by our ratings. I spent a lot of time rating games. I rated like 135 games. I got super high karma for our game, and then that resulted in our game getting rated very often too. I think we got 89 ratings, and it came in like 40 something in popularity at the end, which is insane, and like 10th most rated. So if you guys did the WOWIE Game Jam, you probably know our game. So, thanks so much for all the ratings. And yeah, so in terms of things that we learned, a lot of people didn't like our control scheme, or perhaps they just thought it was too difficult or something. Now, the game is difficult. It's supposed to be difficult. We knew it would be difficult. There's a difficulty curve to it. You have to get good at the movement to be skilled in the game. That's okay. There's games that are hard. There's games that you have to learn the mechanic and become skilled at it. There was two problems. The first problem was that we didn't have time.delta time in the rotation, so some people had way too slow rotation, some people had way too fast rotation, and that was an oversight for both of us. Whereas a main issue was that we didn't introduce the gameplay slowly. Right? Even the tutorial itself was frustrating, and it probably didn't make players feel smart, right, for being able to like navigate it, but rather, it's a tutorial and like, oh, it's already like impossible and annoying. So I could have done a lot to kind of like smooth that out a little bit and kind of like introduce the harder aspects more slowly. See, because now we played the game a lot and we know the game really well, and I've beaten it once, Steve has beaten it a couple times. It's very hard and I'm totally cool with that. I think it should be hard. It's definitely something that could have been introduced just more slowly with the tutorial, spreading the tutorial out a little bit more, making the player feel good about getting good at the rotation, getting good at the dashing, and then starting to introduce enemies after that. So perhaps in an update, but I don't know. I think it's the jam is over. The game was fun to make. The game is made. Let's see what we can make next, right? The main thing I wanted to do with the game was the particle effects, screen shake, feedback, trail rendering, that kind of stuff. That was super fun. That makes the game super fun. That makes me want to play the game. That kind of feel is just very, very important. That was my main criticism of other people's games, is that there was just like very little feel and feedback elements. There was like maybe some sound or something and maybe a particle effect. There were not that many games with screen shake. It's not that hard to do. It's quite easy to do. And there were a lot of like 2D side-scroller platformer games. A lot. And a lot of them were either about fixing bugs or about actual bugs, or just like the walls were glitched that you could like walk through them. Now, that's awesome. People made a game, they finished a game for a game jam, that's awesome. But there was a lot of games that had a really unique creative spin on it, right? Either a creative use of the theme or a creative use of mechanics. There's a lot of bad things that you can say about Glitch Dash, but there's not a single other game that plays like Glitch Dash on the game jam. So, creativity. I also noticed that a lot of games that I thought should have been rated higher weren't rated higher. The only games that I gave 5 stars were like 5 stars across the board was the Portal game, like the Cube one. That was a lot like Portal. That was a very good game, very well voiced. Then there was one where the Unfinished game. The Unfinished game I think was the best game on there because it had it had great gameplay, great feel, great animation. It just like maximized Unity's potential to the best it was amazing. And the one with the AI, I think the white rectangle, the one where every time you get the rectangle, it keeps on like bugging out more and more. That was brilliant. That was such a good use of like everything. Great story, great it was just great. It was awesome. Some games were like very popular, but like maybe because of their popularity, they maybe didn't receive such a objective criticism as they could have. I guess in the end, game jams are ultimately just going to be like how well do people think your game fits that criteria, right? Yeah, so this is super fun. Very much a learning experience. I just can't wait to go and like make more games now with like all the stuff I've learned. And you know, huge thanks to Jonas for doing all the work to run this jam, to host the jam. I can only imagine what it would be like to have to play through 300 games. You know, I playing through 135 games is exhausting. So yeah, check out our devlog. It's a good devlog. We had a lot of fun making the game, and I hope you guys have as much fun playing it and having had the same amount of fun participating in the jam in general as we did making this game. So check that out. Check out my other devlogs. Thanks for watching. God bless. Peace out.